In the second entry of my studies on modern music, I'm talking about emotion in music, more specifically emotion fusion. And yes, I am just making stuff up at this point. So what is emotion fusion? Well, it's when a song combines two core emotions to both enthrall listeners and confuse them, making them wonder what emotion they should be feeling. This is most common with the mixture of happy and sad, a combo that goes together much more than one would assume. Today I'm looking into 10 songs that are either both happy and sad, or just happy or sad, but arguments can be made that there are implications of the other emotion within them. Basically, we're gonna cry today. For non-diehard Train fans, it's easy to forget that there was an album before Drops of Jupiter. I mean, Meet Virginia is actually a really interesting song because it's reminiscent of the kind of music that defined the 1980s. It definitely reminds me of groups like Dave Matthews Band or Barenaked Ladies, more on both of them later. But anyways, we're focusing on the hit from their second album. Drops of Jupiter is by far one of the most beautiful songs I've ever listened to. It's honestly on the verge of being a gospel piece in my opinion. Now, the reason that I considered this a happy, sad song is that even though the lyrics are obviously about heaven, they're not that depressing, and the music is very upbeat. Honestly, no song has ever really made me think, those strings, though. You also have to appreciate the sort of orchestral beat drop. I honestly can't explain how good the lyrics are. They're just so incredible. This song is by far one of my favorite songs, because simply put, it does everything for me good music is supposed to do. It takes you somewhere, both in the story it tells, but for me it takes me back to about this past fall when I really first heard this song for the first time. But all the good parts and fanboying out aside, what makes this song sad? It's about death. Frontman Pat Monahan even made the song in memory of his recently deceased mother, but this isn't any ordinary song about losing a loved one. It's about the equivalent of a funeral in New Orleans. Sure, the whole death part is sad and all, but most of it is about celebrating the life of the now deceased. The song chronicles the journey of a woman through the afterlife, and at the end it reminds listeners not to take the good things in life for granted. And now I'm wondering why I chose to talk about this song first, because I just unloaded a bunch of heavy stuff here. That's right, I'm not giving y'all any opportunity to grab a Kleenex before turning the sad meter back to an 11. See, this song is happy sad for a completely different reason. It's all about how far human civilization, specifically technology, has come since the 60s. Its lyrics about how the world is truly profound. So it shows how great it is that we've improved so much in such little time. So where does the sad come in? Well, it's all in the nostalgia. The narrator wants to hear a song that takes him back to a simpler time and even expresses some anxiety and doubts about the future. It's short, it's sweet, it's happy and sad. It does it through means of memory, through a compare and contrast of what's in the past and what lies ahead in the future. See, this song always shoots me in the chest with a ray of sunlight. I really started liking this song right before the pandemic took a massive dump on humanity's plans. I associate this song with a musical I was doing through a local theater company, and not only does this song bring me back to that time, but it gives me hope that the play will come back soon. I mean, come on, when does Dave Matthews Band ever disappoint? But when most people listen to this song, all they get is the happy part, because yes, I'll be honest, yes, all this song really has to offer on the surface is the happy. See, this song, though, requires one to dig deeper into the lyrics and meaning in order to pick up on its sad parts. Stay is basically a perfect day by Lou Reed wasn't depressing. It's about an ideal day with the singer's love interest, so what's sad about that? Well, like all good things, they must come to an end, and Dave pretty blatantly expresses his sadness that the day will end, and to do anything and everything in his power to keep the day alive forever. It's not the most compelling or depressing, sad part of the songs that I'll mention in this video, but it still hammers home. Now, Lucas Graham is one of those singers that I wish still made music today, but it's been 3 years since he last released an album, so I'm not sure if he ever will get that. One thing that I always, remembered from this guy was he makes really, he can make, not always, but he can make some really depressing music. And that's not a negative thing. That's just me speaking that some of his songs I think are really deep. I really loved his debut album in 2016 because it did have a roller coaster of emotions. You know, most of the songs were very solemn and sad, but every once in a while it would be interrupted with a more soulful and upbeat song to prevent listeners from drowning in their own tears. However, Happy Home is not one of these songs. It follows the broken home life of a young Lucas Graham, including the passing of his father, and even dips into his music career as well. Yet it also covers how his grandfather taught him music in the first place, and overall the ending has an optimistic mindset. And don't forget the title of the song itself, which comes from the lyrics in the song in which Graham compares the home he grew up in to the one he has now. It's not bawl your eyes out sad like 7 years, but it still packs a punch. I, for one, am more into his soulful pieces. Mama Said is a much better song to listen to on repeat than this one. Let me start this one off by saying, I am not the guy to talk to if you want to talk country music. I never liked it all that much. The only country song I ever really did love was God's Country, which some people argue that that's not even true country. But honestly, I don't care. It's Blake Shelton. At least he didn't pass it off as some techno track or something. God's Country is a country song, and I'm willing to die on this hill. But I think this characteristic of mine is mainly out of nurture over nature, because my family isn't very hot about country music either, or so I would perceive. The only exception in our household was Casey Musgraves, and because of this, I grew up hearing a lot of her music, and when I was 9, I got dragged along to see her in concert, so now I can say the only musician I've ever seen in concert was Casey Musgraves. I mean, it's not like I don't like her music. I've grown to enjoy a lot of her songs, but the one we're focusing on today is Fine, a ballad about a woman whose boyfriend or husband, or let's just call him her man, is away from home. I don't even recall if the song ever explains why he's away, which is more than a little troubling. But yeah, this song is basically 3 minutes of Casey Musgraves crying about not fully knowing when her man's coming back. But like, it's implied that he is, so I guess that adds the silver lining that makes this a happy, sad song, I guess? I don't know. I needed some extra songs to add to this video, and this popped into my head. Not the best example, but there's more to come. And moral of this song is, Casey, you might want to find a new man, because I don't know what your guy's doing, like, if he's not even telling you what he's doing. I don't know. Now, with Orphans, it's more of the song's true meaning that contradicts its happy nature, not just negative undertones. This is one of the more recent songs I'm going to be talking about, and its lyrics have a pretty straightforward meaning. The singer wishes he could go back to when he was younger and have fun with his old friends again. Sure, it's a bit sad, but it's all in good fun, right? Wait, but that's just the chorus. Let's see what topics the rest of the song mentions. Okay, so we got war in the Middle East, bombs, catastrophic explosions, the loss of a parent, dead children, and the world ending. What a happy bop! But in all seriousness, yes, the song is about explosions in Damascus, Syria, and it tells the story of how a little girl and her father died in it. Then there's the chorus, which I'm sure there's some way it connects to the story the rest of the song tells. It's just nice to see Coldplay making more songs about historical events. I'm beginning to suspect that the only reason they were able to even make the song in the first place is because U2 was on tour and couldn't beat them to the punch with it. I intentionally left this bonus round with a vague title. There are so many common song titles. The possibilities are endless. Well, I made the interesting observation that 2 songs by 2 different popular musicians were released within a couple of years of each other, and they're both extremely depressing. Both of these songs go by the misleading title of Happier. Yeah, I'm bringing out the big guns for this one. So let's start with the first one released, Happier by Ed Sheeran off his wildly successful Divide album. I never liked this song. Why? Because to me, it's condensed sadness. It's about how Sheeran's ex has already moved on to someone who's arguably a better match for her, yet he still has feelings, he still has feelings for her. Simple and straightforward premise, and if that won't make you bawl, the puppetry-heavy music video will. Next we have Happier by Marshmallow featuring Bastille, or just Happier by Bastille, because come on, what does Marshmallow bring to this song besides the beat? Happier is a lot different. Once again, it's through the eyes of the ex-boyfriend, but plot twist, they haven't broken up yet, and the whole song is just about how he feels like it's best if they do break up. I like this song much more. It has a more understandable plot, and I've heard this song a million times. It's what I call a school bus song, because my bus driver in middle school always played this one radio station that just blasted like the same 10 songs on repeat. Also, the music video for this song is also Cry Your Eyes Out sad, but for some reason it's not about a breakup, but instead about a woman's dog who she grew up with, and then it died. I'm not sure what that's all about, but the brilliant thing about these songs is that the title comes from a statement made by the singers, but they're both different. One is, you've moved on and you're clearly happier, which kills me inside because I still love you. And the other is, I think we should break up because we'd be happier then. So these songs sound super sad. Where's the happy? Well, the titles imply that at some point one of the people in the song either is or will be happy. It's the same half-baked logic I used for Happy Home, but it checks out. Alright, let's check my inbox. YouTube banned me? Oh, it's just a band name. Get your mind out of the gutter, YouTube. For those who don't know, Barenaked Ladies is an alternative band that started in the 90s. They made cool bops like If I Had $1 Million in 1 week, and the lead singer broke off to write the theme song for Big Bang Theory. Well, saying that they remind me of a mixture of Matchbox 20 and The Fray doesn't do them justice and probably isn't even that accurate of a description either. But when Barenaked Ladies makes a bad song, a sad song, my goodness, it will ruin your day. First off, let's talk about the mother of all mood killers, the song I always pray isn't played when someone says, hey, let's listen to Barenaked Ladies. It's The Old Apartment. What is this song? And no, I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I'm genuinely asking, what is supposed to be the plot of this song? The first time I listened to it, the answer is clear. It's about a man wanting to relive his relationship with his ex, even if it was far from perfect. But after a while, I began to doubt myself. Like, what if they're still together, but the man just wants to revisit the memories at their first home together for nostalgic purposes? The lyrics never explicitly state that they're broken up, and the fact that the woman seems to take an active part in revisiting the old apartment seems to suggest they're still together and just burning the bridge to a toxic moment in their lives. Next is Call and Answer, which I've just heard recently for the first time, and although it's not as sad as Old Apartment, it's still got it. It's about a relationship that is effectively like a years-old post-it note. It just doesn't stick. The woman in the song appears to be very promiscuous, and she never commits to a relationship with him. So after years of basically simping over her, he gives her an ultimatum. Commit to an exclusive relationship with him, or he'll just stop pursuing her altogether. The song is like a heart-wrenching romance movie packed into a quick song. It's angst and brokenness condensed down. These both have very intuitive ways of having both happy and sad themes. With The Old Apartment, that what emotion takes center stage is all up for the listener's interpretation. And for Call and Answer, the emotion in front is all riding on how the love interest reacts to the singer's ultimatum. Say what you want about Barenaked Ladies, their songs really do make you think. That is all that I have for this episode. It's a little bit shorter, I know. But yeah, that's basically it. And there was supposed to be, I had like a lineup of videos I was gonna make, and then I finished Survivor Pearl Islands now, because that's the season that I was on, and now I'm done with it. So I kind of sidelined whatever video I was gonna make next, so that I could make this video on Survivor Pearl Islands. So that's what's going to be next, but maybe don't expect to see it anytime soon, because I still have to get this video uploaded, and I don't know when I'm going to do that, and I haven't even finished the Pearl Island script. So, like, I'll shoot for getting it out still by sometime in March, but just, be on the lookout for that. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.